All right, guys, welcome back to another amazing episode. This is the Real Estate Marketing Roundtable. Oh, it's going to be an amazing show. We have Brad, my brother, here with Likely.ai. We have the Evil Bald Ninja. We have Nick, the Ever Shrinking Man. And we have Sergeant Jake Wolf. Guys, this is going to be amazing. We're going to talk about what new agents can do to jumpstart their business. Before that, here's our intro. God, I love dancing to that intro. Jake, thank you for making that to me. I literally clap at 10 seconds when you guys shift it up. But before we do any of that stuff, we have some amazing co-hosts today and an amazing guest. Like I said, my brother, Brad Mcdaniel from Likely.ai is here. He's the CEO and co-founder of it. They have predictive analytics for every single human. They have 3,000 to 5,000 data points on every single one of you. So we know what you're clicking on when you don't want anybody else to click it on. But I want to bring in Mr. Gene Volpe, the Evil Bald Ninja. What up, homie?
I want you to rearrange the layout of our videos here. I want to be between you and your brother, Brad. I want to get in the middle of the Mcdaniel sandwich. Can we do that?
You want to do a London Bridge, you sicko? All right, let's move forward.
Oh, God,
let's move forward in regards to how he's doing. Okay, you weird
Nothing
job.
like coming hot out the gate.
Coming on. That's why we do it. We sit here, we laugh, we bust each other's nuts, we joke around, but we also bring knowledge and entertainment. So I'll try to rearrange it. Don't know how to do that. But before that, we have Nick Sakis, the Ever Shrinking Man. What is up, my friend?
So I'm not shrinking anymore. I'm actually expanding. And that's why I put Angelo down in the corner. For any of you who have been following my weight loss journey, I dubbed the second personality I used to have as Angelo, as my big brother, or somebody I used to hang out with and eat food with and expand my waistline. And I've been hanging out with Angelo over the past couple months. But I think it's relevant to the real estate industry and how real estate agents in general, you might have a really good month and you're feeling really good and fat and happy and you sold $1 million, $2 million, $10 million, and then you take a month off and don't do absolutely anything. Yeah. That's what I've done with my diet. I lost 178 pounds. I took the summer off and now into the past couple months and have put some weight back on. I'm disgusted and I'm ready to hit the streets hard again.
Let's go.
Yeah. That is spoken like a true real estate agent right there. I love it. Sergeant Wolf, what up, homie? How are you?
Same as usual, just winning, Greg. Thanks for asking. I'm extremely, extremely happy to go ahead and have Mr. Brad Mcdaniel on the show here today because the Clever Nation is very proud to be partnering with Likely Artificial Intelligence. Our developers on both sides of the companies are working right now. We're getting ready to sweep across the nation. So a lot of these folks know about the Clever Nation transportation opportunity, unique selling propositions that we've been rolling out. It's a storm over here. So we're busy, but I'm glad to be here and discuss success and prosperity with you, Mr. G.
Dude, it's going to be a phenomenal show. And yes, the younger and the more handsome Mcdaniel, my brother Brad Mcdaniel. How are you, my friend? Welcome back to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me back, man. I appreciate you having me on. You know, I always love talking with the Bald Ninja, Ever Shrinking Man, and the Sergeant himself. So,
thanks. You know. So I'm not a part of that group. That's awesome.
I mean, you're my brother, so of course, man. Are you kidding me?
All right.
You still have a nickname that's cool. I don't know. What is his nickname now, guys? Like, I'm sure there's a good one.
Who, mine?
Yeah, Gene. What do you call Greg these days?
A lot of things. I can't say most of them on air.
Oh my God.
Even on real estate.
Even on real estate uncensored, yeah.
Dude, right. Guys, you know my name and nickname is the Junior Grandmaster. This is come on, JGM. Good God. All right, let's cut the bullshit. Let's get down to brass tacks. Brad, let's walk us through some of the things that you're seeing, and then Nick and Gene and Jake, of course, you guys jump in whenever you guys want to. What are some of the things that you're doing over at Likely that you're seeing other brokerages doing, other top teams? Because I know you work with some of the biggest teams in the industry with your company. How are people jump starting as a new agent to get their career moving?
You know, it's just one of those areas that through the lens that I see the market through, and I know I got all these like weird things in my shirt thanks to this green screen thing, but like the things I see in the market, they're gaps. And one of the gaps that I've seen is that I hear a lot of conversations around work your database. Your database is, where you're going to get all your business from. Oh, I only work my database. I've been in the business for 30 years, or I'm just joining the industry. How do I build a database? And, then when you kind of go down that, how do I build a database? There's 1,000 different options, which I want to hear your crew's opinion on. But I didn't see anyone actually built a database for agents. I thought that was a huge miss. We have all this great data now based on, what we have to do from an artificial intelligence standpoint. And something that I'm exploring right now is what is the demand? Do agents, new agents that maybe don't feel like they have a database, do they want a database? Do they want an AI-enabled database? Do they want it built for them and passed to them with a ribbon on? I don't know. I feel like they would have to, but I don't really know what they're doing today outside of maybe trying to find their friends or contacts on their phone or something like that. So I'd love to hear what your crew thinks about, ways to jumpstart agents, that don't have a database.
So I see the three of these marketing masters just itching. Like I know them so well. They're both like, all three of them are like, please let me in, coach. So let's go with the Bald Ninja first, and then we're going to go rotational round. Then we'll go to Nick and then to Jake. So Gene, how would you do that, man?
So it's funny that I've been working with a lot of loan officers recently who have the same thing, right? So you decide to get into a new career, you get your license. There's a lot of things, and this is the same for real estate. You get a lot of things that hold you up: licensing, paperwork, fees for things, right? And I feel like people sit on the sidelines a lot, and they go, "Well, I can't really do anything because I don't have the required X, Y, and Z."
Yeah.
Look, no matter what you're in, if you're making relationships, you're going to win long term, right? So if it's going to take you 3 months to get your license, why are you going to wait for 2 months and 30 days or 29 days, depending on the month, to start filling up a list? So don't call it a database if that scares you. Call it an Excel spreadsheet, a list, something where you can hit these people up when we launch your YouTube channel. When we do these different things for you, why would you not be ready to swing out of the gate? So here's what happens. You go out and you make friends. You go to a bar and you hang out and watch the Eagles game or whatever it is you're doing. You go see Penn State on the weekend or whatever your college football team is. You're probably going to be with 15 people. Do you have all their contact information? If not, why wouldn't you be gathering that? And it's sometimes, for me, it's just as simple as going, yo, I don't think I have you on my Excel spreadsheet. I got big news coming up. Would you mind giving me your email address? I mean, it's not that hard, right? And some people say no, don't get me wrong, because they're thinking, spam them. But for the most part, you should be driving that thing up front for different reasons. When you start your YouTube channel, you want people to know it. When you partner up with Brad and Likely in his groups, you're going to want to have more people to start. Like I still do events where people are like, all right, I don't have a business channel, business Facebook page, let's say. How do I get people to like it? And I go, let's start here. How many friends do you have on Facebook? And they go 6. And I go, ugh. Like you need to have go to your spaces where you have your friends and ask, and then put that stuff on the side and start compiling that information so that when you come to a guy like me and you go, what do I do next? I go, first thing is this: where are all your contacts? I don't have any. Shit, this is going to take a lot longer than I thought. Or I got 1,600 people. What do I do? Okay, we got a place to start. So just start where you're at, dude. Don't wait. Just start gathering as much information about people as you possibly can.
Yeah, that's a solid piece of advice. Nick, where would you go with that?
I think the most current events that just happened with Facebook being down should really be an eye-opener as to where are you communicating with people and how are you communicating with people, right? If Facebook was the only way that you have access to send communication via Messenger with people that you would consider as part of your database, it might be a good time to start thinking about creating that list. Like Gene said, database does seem to be heavy, like a heavy feeling, right? Because database seems like a whole thing, right? It seems like a whole, like, oh, now I have to segment and do all these different things. I don't know what A client is, B client is, previous customers, cold lists from marketing campaigns. I don't know how to organize all that shit. And then you just don't do anything, right? So like Gene said, start by making a very practical list. It could be an email list, right? It could be a text messaging list, because if the world shuts down, Facebook shuts down, how are you communicating with your clients? Can you easily send out a text message from a CRM like Clever, and be able to communicate with your people without just posting on your Facebook wall, thinking that everybody's going to see that? If Facebook's down, what happens next?
So I just lost my train of thought because of Tony. I was going to say something on top of what Nick was saying, but I'll come back to it. I'm serious. My brain's in a million places today, dude. I'm telling you, it's good.
That's a really good point. I mean, Zuckerberg, I think I heard the number, he lost like $6 billion this week. From the stock, from the shorts.
It's back up. It's pumping back up. But yeah, he was losing like a $1 million a minute or something ridiculous.
So that's not stressful at all. Yeah. So let's take that in consideration. Brad, I want to get to you really, really quick. Actually, first Jake. But I mean, when you think about someone who loses $1 million a minute, I mean, you're taking you go to the bathroom for 5 or 6 minutes, and all of a sudden you lost $5 or $6 million. That's stressful. Getting into building a database, that's not stressful. Jake, how would you combat the stresses of building a database?
First thing, ladies and gentlemen, hello, everybody. I've always been a big fan of utilizing these social platforms as a way to go ahead and extrapolate relationships and get them into a controllable database set. Old school communication, right? Direct text, direct email, understanding their address, just as an in case. And it was just proven on Monday, right? So that's important. The way that I view the social world is it's a place to go ahead and get social, to engage on those platforms, how people set the standard operating procedures to go ahead and engage with them, and then find ways to go ahead and get them over into your world so you can go ahead and stay consistent, nurture them even with old school type stuff. It's extremely important. So, ladies and gentlemen, Brad McDaniel's here, the CEO from Likely Artificial Intelligence, who has predictive analytics that is extremely important. If you guys haven't heard of what this is and don't understand it, let me give you a quick little snapshot. Okay. He's giving you in the real estate industry an opportunity to go ahead and go to the lake of fish. And then he's telling you, oh, those fish are going to bite. Throw your line over there. Okay. So even the less advanced fishermen and women can go ahead and have a better opportunity to go ahead and put something in front of folks who are needing your services right now. All right. So this is why I love predictive analytics so much in marketing. And you guys that are long-term followers of the show have heard me talk about this. All right. If I know before my competitor that those people are most likely to go ahead and do some type of business with me or are in market, why wouldn't I focus my energy, time, attention, money towards marketing and getting out in front of those folks? Okay. So here's where I see people go wrong, Greg, to the core of your question. All right. Let's say you all are communicating to those people. Now your prospective customer is going to have to choose what the hell makes you better than that person and that person and that person. Why should I go with you? Okay. Every other company in different industries selling vacuum cleaners are literally trying to go ahead and say, you know what, you got to buy my vacuum cleaner here because it's got the pet attachments and it picks up dog hair a lot better. And you got to see this and it's half the price. And so what is your compelling offer? What is your unique selling proposition? So for us over in the Clever Nation, we absolutely love Brad and his data, so much so that our companies are working closely together to empower all of our agents so that we can take our powerful hooks, such as, would you like to save $10,000 to $25,000 on your move? You shouldn't go with any other real estate agent before checking with us. You're going to have to pay that anyway. So these are the messages that we at the Clever Nation are going to be putting out in front of every single piece of Brad's data. Every customer that uses Likely and is empowered with the Clever Nation will literally be going and telling all of the homeowners, we're going to save you $10,000 to $25,000. You don't need to talk to another real estate agent.
Damn. That's how you lay hammer. Brad, okay, so you've heard from 3 marketing experts. What did you take away from that, and how could we put Likely.ai's, intelligence behind these suggestions?
So what I heard really was shit, it's going to take a long time if you don't have contacts, and kind of rethinking about where you communicate, from just on Facebook to other places. And I'm kind of honed in on okay, if I don't have a lot of contacts, maybe I have some friends, maybe I'm a social person, but I don't capture it all. It's not all in one place. How do I start? I remember right out of college and I went into the lending industry, and it was like a slap on the button. Hey, congratulations. Go talk to your title rep and get all the addresses for this area. And then go try to figure out how you get the people that live there, and then go try to find the where you get the contact information for, and then figure out how to format it, put it in something. And it was like this, oh my God, like there's a lot to do in order to actually build a business. If I'm focused on maybe certain neighborhoods that I connect with, but I haven't seen anyone actually build a database for people. I mean, we all know geo farming and there's some certain filtering and stuff like that. I mean, is that what people recommend new agents to go do, is to go build a geo farm with some filters today?
Well,
that's the thing.
There's a couple of ways of going about this, and you can do old school and new school. So this is, yes, ladies and gentlemen, that's called a business card. It's fantastically useful, except for the fact that I lost 50% of my real estate on the backside because there's nothing there. With what Jake is creating with the free move anywhere in the lower 48, you can hand out 25 business cards. When I got started, when Brad and I, our father started the business, he walked out the door in the snow. This is not a joke, in Boulder, Colorado. And he went door knocking every single day, and he didn't come home until he handed out 25 business cards to people he had a conversation with. His business
was uphill both ways.
No shoes.
And uphill. Yes, of course. But I mean, the point is that you can go old school, new school. If you want to build your database very, very quickly, I would implement multiple things. And I'm gonna say old school stuff, and then you guys do new school stuff, but they can work in harmony together. So go out and talk to 25 people at a minimum every single day. I'm talking about the checkers at your local supermarket, the people at the bank, the people at anywhere you go. If you're at the dog park, at your kids' schools, hand out your business card like it's candy. Who cares if they throw it away? Because you know what, the percentage of people that are going to keep it, and if you bring enough value. So let's say I give them my business card, say, hey, my name is Greg McDaniel with eXp Realty. Here's my business card. By the way, on the back, you can redeem this. Anyone you know or someone else knows that's going to be buying or selling, I'll move them anywhere in the lower 48 states for free, as long as they list with me or buy with me. That's a value add proposition. You save them anywhere from $10,000 to $25,000. Then you take those folks and you put them into your database, and you ask for their business card or their contact information, because you have something that nobody else can offer. Once you get them into your database, then you take them over to Clever Leads and to Likely. You upload their data into those different systems. You figure out who the most likely people are to be selling through Likely, push them over to Clever. Clever will then decide to, a marketing campaign. You take them over to Nick and to Gene. They will do their specialities. Gene will chop up the content and throw it out on the different social media sites. And then Nick will be able to be an absolute master when it comes to, Facebook marketing. So you have everything covered. Everything you need in front of you is in your is in your iPhone or your Android. It's in your email inbox, and it's in the people you connect with on a daily basis. I said a lot. I'm going to shut the fuck up. Who wants to go next? Because
I got one.
Okay,
I got one.
Thank God.
I was thinking about what I was thinking about before. First of all, I'm going to end every statement from here on out with a hiya. That's how we're going to end everyone. No, but listen, I was thinking about this, right? So let's talk about going back to new agents. How many people have one of these?
Nope, none of us.
Right? There's probably on my thing. There's this cool app. It's called Contacts, right? And if I go into it, it actually has. It's weird. It's got email addresses, phone numbers, and notes on people that I've met over the last 27 years. And I know this is probably going to be overwhelming to a lot of people because I personally wouldn't do this. But what's to stop you? What's to stop you from going through your contacts and basically sorting through your Rolodex and going, no, I would mail to these guys. Like, think about from a newsletter perspective. Who would you want to shoot a newsletter out to? You'll probably pull 25% of the database out. Like, that's a girl I went to high school with. This is an old X, Y, and Z. Like, you might want to pull some people out, but I'd be willing to bet you 50% of the people in here would be willing to listen to your newsletter or your video if you shot it out at them. So I would say when you're building that list, start right here first, right? These are the people in your circle that know you. So And you don't even need to go cold. So, hiya!
Oh my God. And also, I agree with you 1,000% on that. Another easy thing to do, guys, if you want to build your database, go into your Instagram and Facebook. Again, if everything tanks, you have to have a backup plan. But think about this. If you go into and you do a post like in a story, and every person that watches your story on Instagram and Facebook, you send them a message going, hey, Gene, hey, Nick, hey, Jake, hey, Brad, how are you? Thanks for watching the crazy story I put out there. How's life? What's new? Blah, blah, blah. The algorithm's going to start looking at you more and more. And also you can then say, hey, look, you know what? I'm updating my database right now. And I for some reason I slipped and I don't have your latest email and your phone number. What is the best way to contact you? And it's just building that camaraderie so that people can start getting in touch with you. Gene, Nick, Jake, thoughts on that comment?
I can tell you what, the exercise we all went through on Monday with Facebook. I'm getting an echo from somebody. I don't know what that is. Can you guys hear me?
And I hear the echo too.
Yeah, good.
Okay, the exercise that we all went through on Monday just shows you how ill-prepared you guys are in your business. And I've been preaching this for so many years, right? So we shouldn't have our businesses solely established on social. We should have infrastructure, business tools. We should have our own database of contact information, notes on different folks. We should have websites to where we can house all of our content, videos, written information, consumable content, right? And then we can go ahead and share that out onto social, engage with folks. But the mindset here, ladies and gentlemen, is you need to be able to go ahead and pull back the contact information. That's vitally important. All right. So get prepared. All right. Go get that extra roll of toilet paper digitally now and get your business set up properly. That's important. So when you're starting in business, all right. So we always get these, what do I do when I start kind of things. You absolutely have to have people to go ahead and start contacting, people to be sharing your consumable content with. You have to have a website that is yours. You control it, a database that's yours and you control it. Now, many of you guys in the audience that are seasoned agents switched hats from one brokerage to another. And then all of a sudden you said, oh, I've got to almost restart. Okay. You want to be able to be flexible, independently plug yourself into different organizations. And if that time ever comes where you have to not communicate on Facebook, use text, use email, pick up the phone and call folks, have your whole database there readily at your fingers. Okay. So get prepared. So every single person that starts, Greg, the answer is I wouldn't ever tell a business in any damn industry not to go ahead and have an independently controlled website and a back-end CRM type system with data sets of prospective or past customers there labeled. These are critical business cornerstones for any business. So those of you that decide to go wing it and go all over and start gluing and duct taping.
That's definitely not the way you want to run a business. And I have a lot of jokes about that with your past military history with airplanes. I just got a visual on that. But Brad, so you're hearing a lot of really solid ideas. I see you taking notes. I know you're really taking this into heart. What are some of the things? Let's say, okay, so Gene is a new real estate agent, which he's gonna have to leave in a hot minute here because you got to go pick his beautiful daughter from school. But
no, today's a recruiting meeting. I can't miss it.
Oh, well, whatever. Fine. You're screwing us for some other reason.
Yeah, forget the kids. Money. They're not important today.
Money. Can I ask a question, Greg?
Yeah, well, yeah, 100%. Go.
So all the approaches that I've heard, I think, are very pragmatic and systematic. You know, I kind of have a question on like what else can we do? So let's say that you do get you guys from Facebook, even though you can't export them anymore. Same thing with LinkedIn, you can't export them anymore. So you have to like do some manual work. You have to gather all that together if you want to. You have contacts in Gmail or somewhere else. You go, okay, I'm gonna export this. I got some people somewhere, right? My phone, whatever. And you start to put that. Then you layer on maybe a geographic area that you want to dominate. Okay, and then you have to get all this data and pull it together and make a database. And let's just say that you're able to do that, or you hire someone to help you with that, right? Mm-hmm. The question comes to is, would you consider turning IP addresses into contacts viable to be added to your database? If someone comes to your website and I'm a string of gibberish, that turns into Brad McDaniel, my phone number and email, and my most recent address. Would you want them? Would you advise them to add that to their database?
I'm going to defer to Nick. Nick is about ready to jump out of his seat. So, Nick, what's up?
No, I was just going to say that. I mean, that would go into like segmentation and more advanced database filtration. Yeah, there's anytime you can collect information on people, I think it's extremely valuable, and there's huge value into anybody who has hit your website, right? Because that means they've stumbled across you in some form or fashion, whether it's marketing, word of mouth, Googling your name, like whatever the case may be. Putting that person into super top of funnel type segmentation is important. Like, why wouldn't that be? And especially now more than ever with the Facebook pixel stuff and Apple, people opting out of iOS tracking, people going more into server side tracking, which is probably what Brad's talking about. Yeah, I think it's important, but I think that goes into the heavy category of database, right? Instead of just making a list and running with it, I would put that in the heavy category, because now it's complex work, and I don't know if I'm doing this right, so I'm not going to do it at all, type of thing.
Yeah, no, I agree that it definitely takes more technical expertise, but let's just say that if it was done for you, maybe your broker does it for the master site or something where there's more traffic, and they were coming to you, you'd be like, yeah, that's a viable contact that I should add to my database because they know my brand, right? The brand recognition has already been established, so they're not as cold. And so you'd say, yeah, definitely add them in.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a really good place to start. That's a little, like Nick was saying, it's a little bit more high level. So base level, we just had different ideas on how people could build their initial database, correct? Brad, so I come to you and I say, likely.ai, I want to hire you. Tell me who I should go talk to. Great. Do you have a database? No. Great. Here are some opportunities where you can build a database. Come back to me at X number. So what number is a database viable in the opinion of likely.ai and predictive analytics and marketing with Clever and with Nick? And where does that number start? Is it 100? Is it 500? Is it 1,000? Is it 2 people? Where do we start with this? Because people, I shit, man. When I first got going, I had fucking nothing when it comes to databases. Now we have like 6,500 or 7,000 people in there. So where do you begin? What's that number where we can start spending money?
I think it's really a question of quality versus quantity. Because you can have 7,500 people in your database, but if half of them are duped and all of them don't live where they used to live, it doesn't matter. Right. And so maintaining your database is going to be key. So first, establishing, right? So phase 1, there's a lot of friction. It sounds like even with the marketing, masterminds on this call, that there's still multiple steps to aggregate a database to start, just to get your foot in the door. So because of that friction, we've been seriously considering making an offer, and right now we're getting very serious about it, where we would build a database for you to get started, or if you want to kind of start fresh, maybe what you've been doing hasn't been working. And so think of a world where you come to Likely and you say, hey, these are the people that I do know, right? Maybe it's an export from existing CRM or Google Contacts or your phone, or a spreadsheet that you had an assistant take down of all your people on Facebook, whatever, or a combination thereof. And then, hey, I also want to dominate these neighborhoods or these zip codes in these markets because it's where I believe I'll do the best. And okay, boom, we'll grab that for you. And then it's, but I also am, my name is Nancy because I'm the new realtor and I am 45 years old. So I don't really connect as well with maybe the 25s, the first time home buyers, but I'm great for the first, the move up home buyers, right? Or the luxury home buyers. So I want to add some demographic filtering in there. Okay, now I've got a database of stock pond, let's call it 2,000, right? But I still don't have contact information for any of these people. How do I now do that? Well, now you have to go to another server. So what if we did all of those things for you, then skip traced them all, And then the most valuable part of it is we put it through our refresh process, where we score it for how likely they are, each person and property are likely to sell, and if they're COVID distressed or not, which that will become just a distressed asset. But right now, COVID's still a thing. I'm sorry that it is, but that's what it is. So it's basically a database with a ribbon on it that says, here you go get them, Tiger. And then we have integrations through Zapier and direct API integrations with all these different CRMs, Clever Leads being definitely one of our primary partners, that you can push that intelligence to and start campaigns on. Like day one, there's no longer 3-week ramp up or a month ramp up as a new agent, or an agent that's maybe was kind of a part-time agent that now is going, you know what, like the market's hot enough, I'm going to actually spend some real time and grow what was 1 or 2 deals a year side hobby, right? But I think I can grow that to 10 deals or 15 deals with just a little bit of effort. And where do I start? Put the people I know, expand on that. I mean, hell, it could even be a lookalike audience, right? I mean, we can do these things relatively straightforward. And honestly, I don't know what the demand for this would be. And that's one of the reasons why, Greg, I asked your group of marketing experts on this, because I would love to get a gauge on it. And if you're interested in this, or if you are an agent that, is looking for a fresh start, and you want to be a data-driven producer, go to likely.ai/fresh start. Fill out that form, and we're going to put you on the early adopters list, okay? And then as we start to roll this out, you're going to be one of the first people we come to and start building you a database.
And by the way, guys, I own 0 stock. I have no standing in likely.ai at all. Brad came to me months and months ago when he first launched the refresh. He said, "Hey man, I'm gonna refresh your database." I'm like, "What the fuck does that mean?" He explained it to me like he just told you. And dude, I'm not kidding you. He came back and gave me that list of the people of 50% or higher that are going to be selling. One of them was our parents, next door neighbors. 2 others were past clients. Yeah, literally next door. If you pull into mom and dad's house, it's on the left hand side. Then there was 2 of our other past clients, and then this is the kicker: my best friend's parents, the Shotwells, were on that list. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here! Are you for real? And so I called my buddy Lonnie, my best friend, and I'm like, "Yo, Lon Dog, are your parents thinking about selling?" And he's like, "Yeah. How did you know that?" I'm like, "I'm just that good." AKA, I have really
That's
good
how you
data.
answer that. Brush it off with the shoulder, be like, because I'm me.
Get that dust
Greg,
off.
you know me my whole life. You know what I do.
Yeah. But the funny thing is that data came back so powerful, and it was the people that were already in our database. It wasn't cold calls. They were all warm calls.
Greg, we've got like 4 or 5 more testimonials like that are coming from the East Coast and other places. One of them where he ran it for one of his top agents. They're running like these OPs. They're running it for all of their agents now because they started testing themselves. Now they're just like, whoa. So they ran it for one of them. He called me the other day, yesterday, and he ran this guy's list. He's like, man, okay, out of those like top scored contacts, he's like, I'm already talking to 7 of those, but they're definitely not on the list, like on the market at all. Like that's awesome. It's like those other 4 I haven't talked to in a long time. He called those 4 and got 2 listing appointments that week. He's like, damn. What the hell was that? He's like, all right, Steve, I'm a believer. Like, what's next, man? And so we really want everyone to come and get a free refresh report, guys. It's absolutely free. You come to app.likely.ai. You drop your database in. If you have any issues at all, our support team's awesome, and they'll submit it for you. We'll give you back a report that says how many of your addresses are good, how many of your people have moved in the last 9 months, and how many are likely to move in the next 6. And if that number is big, and we give you gross commission income calculations and everything, it's kind of a cool little thing. If it's big, hey, buy it. We'd love to work with you. And we've just changed our pricing to make it align with people that have larger databases, that when you drop it in, you only pay for ones that are likely sellers. So if they're leads that you can make money on right now, it's only $1.49 each. So it's very affordable at scale. And we're going to give you all the other data that we append back. It's like, I think now it's like 37 data points on all the other contacts for free. Like we want you guys to adopt this because we've seen the power. We have these testimonies that are just rolling in. And when the market that is today, what's the number one thing everyone needs? Everyone needs listings. So, you know, if we can help you, we would love to. But at the same time, I'm here because I'm really interested in helping the industry, both from that middle market broker as well as the new guys, giving them a chance to leverage something that to date has only been for the top few that could afford it. We are, you know, we are taking AI and bringing it to the masses.
Yeah,
so
you really are.
Can you say that again? Can you really say, like, seriously? So we upload a list of 5,000 people. Out of those 5,000 people, 300 come back as likely sellers. You only pay for those 300.
Only pay for those
at $1.50 a piece, and as a bonus, you append all the other 4,700 for correct information.
Yep, we give you who's the current owner, current AVM, the mailing address, property characteristics, that AVM's lendable grade, when they last sold, lendable equity in the property, a lat long, so you can map it if you want. We even have a cool like a map view that we show you that we look at the surname on what you've submitted and who currently owns the property, and we make the little dots different colors, so that way you instantly get value from it. Going, oh, I should stop marketing to all those yellow dots because Mr. Smith sold his house 10 years ago and I've never updated my database. Like, it's massive challenge in the industry.
Fuck, dude.
With the data ecosystem, where they say up to 30%. A lot of people say a lot more than that, but every year your database diminishes.
Churn
in quality, right? People move, they change their numbers. Like, there's just this natural thing we have to keep it fresh, and if you don't, you're going to be spending a lot of money on people that don't live where you think they live.
There's Nick, a lot of wasted marketing dollars there in every industry, right? Because the old school thought process has always been just get the damn message out there, Brad, right? It's like tell everybody, talk to everybody, but now it's very strategic. It's going into it with precise tactical procedures and focusing on those folks and making sure that your process and your systems are set up right. Real quick shout out to everybody that's watching inside the Clever Leads Inner Circle and our real estate HQ. We are going to be bringing in a direct API integration into Clever Leads. So we can go ahead and with one click of a mouse, we can go ahead and refresh your whole database inside of Clever Leads.
Yep.
We'll be able, if you guys are pulling in likely seller data every single month, it'll seamlessly load into the system after we go ahead and get this done. Also, when you're doing any advertising, like we talk about, and we go ahead and pull back address captures, things like that, we'll be able to go ahead and find more information about these people with one click of a button. So then we can go ahead and add them to our strategic lists. Obviously, then refresh, find out if they're a likely seller, focus our advertising dollars towards them, and get the messages out. So this is all coming, and that's why we're streaming right now into the Clever Nation, Inner Circle, and HQ. So we're going to be bringing Brad in there as well, guys, so that we can go ahead and do some strategic training. So
that is freaking awesome. I'm super pumped you guys are all working together. Nick, you got to jump on that bandwagon, homie.
Nick is on that bandwagon. Nick's on that bandwagon. We're working with Nick.
I overspoke.
Nick's good. Nick knows his Facebook, man. He's the guy. No
doubt. So let's talk about this really quickly. Nick is my favorite shrinking man, and he and I have talked about taking over the world a million times. Brad, one of the questions that Tony has brought up here, and Jake and Nick, I want you guys all to be a part of this conversation. What is the price range on the lower end, aka in quotes, for us little guys?
I think it was answered. It was really answered. I mean, Brad is giving a hell of an opportunity to the whole real estate market, ladies and gentlemen, right now, as a way for you to freshen up your damn database. We as humans move, we change, things happen. All right. So if you're not constantly engaged with a group of people all the time and updating this information, next thing you know, a quarter goes down. 15+% of your list might have changed. Look at the mass migration of people right now that are moving all across the United States for a lot of different reasons. So with Brad's company's services, he's giving you guys an easy way to go ahead and stay current, for one, which is so important. All right. And even if those people did go ahead and change hands, let's say now they're not a likely seller, but all of a sudden you see somebody that you've known for like 2 years, they ended up shifting gears and making a move. Why not pick up the phone and call those people and say, hey guys, I just kind of heard around the grapevine. Did you end up moving by chance? Why? You have to stay current, top of mind with new prospective customers, people that have converted in any regard, and you should stay top of mind even with past customers, even if they're in a different state. Okay, because those people, us humans, have influence, right? We were the leaders at the Boy Scouts. We were the people that are representing the school boards. We were at church. We were part of the 4-H groups in the local area. We as humans get involved with each other and we communicate. So when those people that have made a shift and a change that are now living in Montana but used to live in Idaho have a phone call from a friend from the previous town saying, hey, you know what, I'm thinking about moving, making a shift, making a change. There's a lot of strategy that can be used as long as your data is accurate. So yes, it's really good to be able to go ahead and minimize the amount of marketing dollars, focusing on people who are more in market and intent based now so that you can go ahead and cater to those folks. But also having accurate data is so damn important, period. Without accurate data, you're inaccurate, okay? And now you can create strategy on those people who are out of market still and stay top of mind. We don't know. In the old school, without predictive analytics, we don't know if somebody's going to go ahead and sell their damn house in the next 8 months or 8 years. You guys have heard me say this, okay? However, we as humans sometimes spontaneously make decisions. Think of the times that you guys have had these conversations with your significant other over a steak and a glass of wine. Honey, we were thinking about staying here for 5 years. However, man, I've got a lot of equity in our house right now, and we're reevaluating home because of COVID. And you remember when the kids came home from school and the dogs are licking me at the kitchen table while I'm trying to do work because work kicked me out of work, and now they want me to stay home. Maybe we should sell. So all of our companies, right? Every single one of us professionals that are sitting here at the round table today, we create systems, strategy, so that we can empower you to be the best you possibly can. Accurate data is so important. Like the artificial intelligence has done a fantastic job. And every day it's just going to keep getting better. Okay, every day. So you have to go ahead and figure out accuracy, who's in market, create actionable items. So
I want to that comment there. It's likely.ai. Likely AI is an Instagram, how cool are my pictures company. It's a gimmick.
They only like the nude photos.
We filed a thing with the trademark office. Since they're in a different ancillary vertical, they can keep it at a .com, but it's a likely.ai. Forget the .com. You don't need the .com anymore. So .ai is how you find likely. To drop your database, it's app.likely.ai. And that is how, we kind of look at the net web apps, like that's where you get all the juice, like all the functionality. They all can have an app dot whatever it is. And so app.likely.ai in order to run a database refresh. And on the question about cost, it is $1.49 per likely seller with to become a data-driven realtor, data-driven lender, data-driven investor. Minimum order is just $49. So basically, as long as you have at least 32 likely sellers in your database, which is really easy to hit, you're going to be north of that. Like we're setting the bar from a price point low, stealing a page from Clayton Christensen, right? When you have continuous innovation, right? You don't want to go in at the top of the market. We want to give this to the industry. We obviously have to pay our bills and do those things, and we will profit together. So come back once a quarter. If we make it so pricey, you come back once a year, we're not going to create raving fans, right? We want everyone to adopt this, and we understand how the industry works. Greg and I grew up in the industry. I tell the story a lot about having doing the trifold and stuff on Friday nights, watching 2 Blockbuster videos, understanding
with our pizza, with our one pizza that we got with her. That was our Friday night. 2 movies, 1 pizza, stuffed dad's envelopes. Yeah,
that's it.
100,000%.
And Greg and I only got 1 for boys, and there's 2 boys and a sister, a girl. There's always one girl movie and one boy movie, which never seemed fair, but
no,
we're good brothers, so we'll get with it.
And so Tony Barbarino is saying that $1.49 per lead is a great deal. We completely agree, and that's why Brad did it, guys. I want you to go back up and make sure that you go to the website app.likely. That's LIKELY.AI. That is where you're going to be able to get these deals. We're going to be wrapping up here pretty quickly.
Yeah, guys, you go to that site. I just want to add to that. Like, this is not for more information. Like, you go to app.likely.ai and put your list in. It's right there. It's ready to go. There's no more, there's no guesswork. There's no webinar to watch. There's no nothing. It's literally drag and drop in there. Within seconds, you're getting a report card and showing you, and then within an hour, you get the whole full report. It's like magic. It's awesome.
Yep. And the other thing, Nick, really quickly, and this is, guys, this is not an infomercial for Likely.ai. This is just a way that we have found that is helping agents get their business up and going quickly. Look, they're not harvesting your data. Your database is safe. They don't need your data. They already own all of your data. They own more data about you than your grandma knows about you. Okay.
Yeah. Greg, that's a really good point. Our privacy policies are right on the bottom, highlighted in blue. This is not our data. It's your data. We get it. We understand. Think of us as the Switzerland. Think of us as a safe haven. So that way, if you do switch brokerages or teams or whatever, I know there's been a lot of friction involved in there. We're not advocating for you to leave where you are. We just want to give you the flexibility and freedom to do your business as you see your business is right.
And yes, Tony, if it does work, they do accept tips, 100%.
Thank you, Tony.
Let's do a couple of quick takeaways here really quickly. Brad, I'm going to let you have the last word. I'm going to quickly go to Jake. Jake, what are some of your final takeaways here in the conversation? I see all three of you guys taking notes. Jake, what's your takeaway on this, and how would you advise real estate agents to move forward?
This should be an infomercial for Likely.ai, and there's nothing wrong with that, guys. This is something that is a tool that is very powerful. It's coming to the market, and you have the power to go ahead and engage it to benefit your business. All right. So when we're talking about price points, ladies and gentlemen, in the bigger world of things in marketing, all right, we're analyzing for every dollar in, how many dollars does it go ahead and come back to us? So I know people that shovel hundreds of thousands of dollars in to the fireplace because it kicks out multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars. Okay. So when you're looking at tools that are so darn essential for your business, you have to go ahead and look at, all right, this is the amount of money I'm putting into marketing spend. These are the tools that are necessary. How many deals over the period of a year in my business does it take for me to go ahead and cover the overhead of my necessary core component tools? And Likely is one of those, in my direct opinion, because for me as the CEO of Clever Leads, we are doing a direct integration for everybody and teaching strategy, implementation, marketing, advertising, and everything else to go ahead and get in front of these people more effectively. So absolutely love Likely AI. If you guys have any questions, want to know my personal experience, because I've used the data. Now, let me tell you a little bit of a story here, guys. Okay. When I started,
thank God this is a short takeaway. Okay.
Yeah, but so Mr. Brad McDaniel was the winner at the Future RE conference that was put on, and I went ahead and heard what he was saying. I was looking at data in the real estate marketplace all across the United States as a useful tool to go ahead and implement into these strategies so that we can be more effective at this level, right? So that's how our relationship started a couple of years ago with Mr. McDaniel over at Likely.ai, and I've watched the evolution happen, and we're proud to go ahead and be part of this, Mr. McDaniel. Thank you very much. Good work.
I love Jake Wolf.
Sorry, Sergeant. There we go. I got to get the salute right.
Yeah. If you fuck that up, you're screwed. Trust me.
I have one more announcement, if you don't mind, Greg. This Friday, ladies and gentlemen, I'm running a very powerful webinar, top to bottom, on the Clever Nation. Our transportation is world or US based wide right now. We're going to do a full top to bottom review. So all you guys have to do is come over to cleverleads.com, enter your information to go ahead and get just updates via text and email on webinars, upcoming events, and newsworthy things. We're going to go ahead and send you an invite to the webinar. It's free. so you can find out what in the world is going on, why we're doing what we're doing, and how it could bless and benefit you and yours.
Absolutely. Well said, my friend. Nick Sakis, final thoughts, my friend.
I think for the past probably 5 years inside the real estate business, it's been like, what's the newest campaign? What's the newest magic marketing pill? The newest course, the newest thing to capture as many leads as possible. And I think agents and brokers and loan officers and everybody have kind of realized that you don't want 1,500 new leads, right? You don't want to have to deal with sifting through all those people getting kicked in the teeth over and over and over again in order to find that one little nugget of gold. So like the evolution of the business, the evolution of what Brad is building is the ability for you to work smarter and not harder. So you have those big cold lists of people that you've gathered from marketing campaigns that you never really sifted through, right? Or your list from your database of people that you actually know. Being able to compile all that into one streamlined list for Brad to say, okay, instead of having to worry about the heaviness, the feeling of having to sift through 5,000 leads, here's the top 47 people to call. Here's the top 192 people to get a hold of. It's going to be something that you guys are going to hear in another 5 years of all the success stories of the small 5 to 7% of agents who got it, who understand, have that light bulb moment and sign up with Likely and work smarter and not harder, because we're so ingrained for so many years as agents that you got a cold call from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. every single day and get your teeth kicked in order to be successful. Well, this is one of those rare instances that doesn't have to be the case anymore. It used to be before Brad. But so anyway, if you guys would like to contact me anymore, be part of my tribe, go to Real Estate Is a Joke. And that's part of what we talk about, right? The idea of the struggles of the average real estate agent, what you guys go through on a daily basis and how we can overcome that. If you'd like to get in contact with me to find out how I help you as a real estate agent become more relevant to your database in your sphere through video marketing, help you with video coaching, and then I help you distribute that content on all social media, including email, to let people understand where you come from, who you are, what you do, and what offers you have in order to help them buy or sell real estate. Go to getamplifiedmarketing.com and book a call. I'd love to chat.
All right. Love it. Great call to action. Great organization to be a part of. Brad, I'm going to let you take this thing home. I don't have a graphic for you right now because I fucking suck and I should have had one sent to me, but I did not ask for one. So tell us a little bit about kind of how they can get a hold of you.
Graphic floating right here. There you go.
Okay. This is his graphic, guys. That's his.
Hey, there we go.
He has red carpet, so it's fantastic.
Half a plane and half a carpet. I love it.
Yes, you only need half to get in the air. It's perfect.
Wings are unnecessary. Come on, you don't need those things.
Plane's taking off, baby. The Likely plane is taking off. Get on board.
So, Brad, the real estate agent on the left is a lady who has a very good-looking face and a nice shiny bird and looks very put together. That's a real estate agent on their first day. Day 5, severe alcoholic, and their hair is being pulled out. We can stop that epidemic by using you. So let us know where we can reach you.
Yes, we want to keep you away from the bottle. If you want to stay away from the bottle, go to likely.ai/contact. We'll keep your hair looking clean, focused on talking to the right people, and everyone in your life will love you more. No, that's over-promising, but we can definitely help you. If you want to become a data-driven agent, in this next kind of chapter, I think Nick just said it really well. Is that people are wanting to adopt a data-driven approach, and usually that used to mean I need a marketing department and 17 people that I don't know what they do, but they put ads everywhere. And now it's to where you need someone that's good at that side, but you don't need 40 people, and you need a good source for who do you talk to and why and on what channel. Someone said it to me this way: it's frequency. And I'm like, all right, yeah, I get that. How often? He's like, no, it's frequency. I'm like, huh? So it's how often, and then what frequency are you communicating on with, right? So is it on social or text or calling or direct mail or door knocking or geo-addressable or you name it? but it's the frequency of frequencies and using a data-driven approach to enable that strategy are the agents, teams, lenders, investors that are going to succeed in this next chapter where, I think we're going to move away from being so heavily dependent upon large real estate portals. They're always going to play a role now in this industry. They're here to stay. But owning your own destiny doesn't solely depend on you sucking off of that teat, right? So to say. So, come to, I know I'm using try to be right language here. Go to likely.ai/contact. And we'll definitely reach out and find out what your situation is. And we have a variety of products that can help. Our whole methodology to the industry is to help help you guys become able to compete. And so we look at ourselves as a force multiplier. And if you're skeptical or you're not sure about it or don't want to commit to a long-term thing, the database refresh is designed to give you a one-time shot. You don't have to research us for 10 hours and they're going to lock me into a 12-month contract and then kill my credit if they don't pay or I don't like what they have to offer. It's a one-time thing. We give you a free report before, so you don't even have to buy it, which we don't want you to buy if it happens to be an area or something that doesn't have great coverage for you, because we want our net promoter score to be high. So let us help you if this is something that you want to try. And, we'd love to get your feedback on, building databases for maybe agents that are on your team, or if you're a team lead, or if you're a brokerage and you want to recruit. Is it a pain point big enough for us to pursue? So think of this as a marketing research time. And if you want to have your fingerprints on maybe a new product that we're going to launch, we'd love your feedback. Just go to likely.ai/fresh start and enter the form. Tell us what you think. And I would say a thank you ahead of a time for your time, because it is very valuable. So thank you.
Yeah, rock and roll, dude. May says she's skeptical, but May is always skeptical, so she can reach out to you and you can pass off.
I think the one time, like what Brad just said, it's a one time. You're not locked into a contract, right? Most of the skepticism out there for agents is, oh, I'm going to be locked into this contract. But I'll bring it back to food. Like if you're the type of person that's so skeptical about signing up or doing anything, like because there's a fear of loss, right? There's a fear of losing money. There's a fear of looking foolish, of everybody else has succeeded at something but not you. But like you have to try stuff in your life, right? And there's no such thing as a loss. I always look at it as a lesson. So you learn a lesson, like, okay, I did this with this company. It didn't pan out. What's the lesson? I didn't do what I was supposed to do, or they didn't do what they were supposed to do. With Brad's, it's try it, no obligation, no risk, and see how it performs. It'd be like going to a restaurant, right? You wouldn't not ever go to a new restaurant because you're afraid of getting a bad cheeseburger. Like that's not going to ruin your life, right? If you get a list from Brad and it doesn't give you 10 listings or whatever wild expectation you have, like it's a one-time deal. So give it a shot. It's a really good product. I'm trying not to preach for Brad too much, but like there's a lot of agents that don't have that aha moment yet because they want to grind, and it's so entrenched in the agent's ecosystem of like you got to push and be kicked in the teeth and all this hardcore grind. It doesn't have to be like that anymore. It really doesn't.
No, it does not.
And I mean, Nick, for that, like you want to try a restaurant. I love that analogy, by the way. See, he's mastermind in marketing, guys. That's good stuff. Is that when you go to a restaurant, do you get to actually like see all the food and exactly what it's going to taste like before? I mean, that's what our whole analytic report's supposed to show you, is like, don't buy it if it doesn't look appetizing. Don't eat it, but come at least look at the menu. And that's all we're asking for is you can load in as many files as you want to look at your whole market or whatever. It's all free. It's all free.
Yeah, that's the most powerful part, guys. I mean, I've used it myself personally. I've seen the responses. I haven't seen the newest, upgrade that Brad's done, just because of just logistics and everything else. But I mean, some of the stuff I'm hearing right now sounds fantastically interesting, because you can take that data, analyze it, purchase what you want. And by the way, Nick's analogy earlier in the show, if we had 2,000 people in your database and 300 people came back, that's only a $450 investment to make $200,000-$300,000 depending on your marketplace. That's a damn good opportunity. Take those people, give them over to Clever, and let Nick and Jake go to town with Brad and let them do their magic. And you guys will see results. If you don't like them, stop watching the show. And I gave you bad information, but I guarantee you I didn't give you bad information. That's why we're doing this. But we're
good and honest people. Well, we'll make it right. Otherwise, Greg will kick my butt, you know?
Hey, I've got something. If you guys want to see what the hell this is all about, go to the Clever Leads channel, find the YouTube video where we went ahead and drove 10 sellers in 4 days using this likely data. Yeah. We did a whole hour on this, and we actually talked about the conversations and everything else.
Absolutely. That was a great interview you guys did.
It's out there.
All right, guys, there's the information. Go back and rewatch this. Share this with every single human being that you know out there in the universe. If you're interested in taking advantage of this free data, again, big Free, free data that Brad can provide, go to app.likely. That's LIKELY.ai. Remember the dot for between likely and AI, so we don't get confused with photos from Facebook. And we will be able to absolutely be able to hook you guys up and get you guys moving. If you don't like it, don't buy it. If you like it, buy it. I don't give a flying fuck. But you know what? One way or the other, it's going to be an opportunity that you guys get to make in your business. I love you to pieces. Guys, I need 3 colors for the bow on the show. Jake, what's your color for the bow on the show?
I'm going to be very biased today because I'm doing big things right now. I'm going to go with Clever Green.
Clever Green. Okay. I like it. Nick, what is your color?
I'm going gold because there is gold in your database, my friends.
Oh, DB. All right. Brad, what's your color for the bow on the show?
I mean, Nick, you just keep killing it, man. Like, that's good stuff, dude. I'm going to go with turquoise.
Really? You're making me spell turquoise?
Okay, we're going to go with red.
Okay.
R-E-D.
I can do that one. Red for the bow on the show. All right, gentlemen and ladies, thank you so much for your time. I truly appreciate you and love you. Nick loves you. Jake loves you. Brad loves you. Gene kind of loves you because he's not here anymore, but we'll give him a 50-50 on this one.
50-50, yeah.
Maybe a 60. I mean,
yeah, there's room for improvement.
Room for improvement.
He's not here, Greg. Why don't you pick a color for Gene?
I can't because he's not here, and I never pick a color. I always ask all the guests and other co-hosts to pick the colors. That's kind of how the show runs. But the reason why I want to say this is that you guys, we cannot do this show without you. We love you to pieces. Guys, please go out there to every place you guys watch and listen to podcasts. Give us a 5-star, not a 2-star review, so that the algorithm will hunt us down and serve this up to more people. Now, we're going to put a Clever Leads green, a gold for database, because there's gold in your database, and then a red portion of the bow on this show. Guys, make it a blessed and powerful day. Until next time, peace out, ninjas. We're gone.